Welcome, what's the crack? Today we're going to make apple flip. Here is the recipe. Alright, the ingredients for my mother's apple flip are 1 1/4 cups of self-raising flour, 1 cup of sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I have 2 apples here chopped into little cubes, like so, soaking in water and lemon juice so they don't go brown. 2 eggs, and I have a little milk, which I'll explain in a moment, and 2 tablespoons of melted butter. First thing I'd like you to do is take maybe a rounded 1/2 teaspoon of sugar out of the bowl that's already been pre-measured. Put it aside. To that we're going to add 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. And these two we'll just mix together and set it aside because we'll sprinkle it on the very top when we're done. Put your 2 eggs into a measuring cup. It should measure up to 1/2 cup. If the eggs are small, add a little milk to bring it up to an even 1/2 cup. And these are less than, so I'll add milk to bring it up to exactly 1/2 cup. I'm going to keep the milk here. Sometimes the flour is drier than other times, so I might add milk later. We'll see. Lightly beat the 2 of these together. Take a new bowl. Add your sugar, your eggs, your melted butter, which is quickly setting here in this cold temperature. I want cold butter. Wrong thing to be spare on. I guess you can use a whisk if you have one of those old-time hand mixers. I'll see if I can find a picture of that for you. Easiest would be electric handheld mixer. Now let's just add the flour all at once. This is really easy. And our 2 spices. Fold those in. And folding, you're just taking the dry stuff from the bottom and bringing it over the top. Try and get in there as quickly as possible. This is not a delicate cake or anything like that, so you can be a little rough with this. It's very forgiving. All right, looking a bit dry at the moment, which is fine. Let's go ahead and add our apples. They've been draining and they didn't go brown with just the lemon juice. And just dump them in. Ta-da! Stir it in here. I should have my wooden spoon, but I don't, and I'm not getting it now. Enough with the dishes. So the apples added moisture as well, because they're wet. So I can feel this getting looser. However, it's quite thick, which is lovely. I could still add just a little drop more milk. So I'm going to add like a teaspoon at a time and see how it goes. I want something closer to a batter really than I do almost a bread dough. So another 1/2 teaspoon or so. So I want it to fall off the spatula or wooden spoon quite easily. Another 1/2 teaspoon. And I'm quite happy with that. That's good. Here I have my buttered and floured tin. You can use any tin you want to. Your oven, please, so your apple flip will get a warm reception. To 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 180 degrees Celsius, or gas mark 4. Right, just gonna plop it in here. And just look at the consistency. Happy to go. All right, let's clean this up. Good enough. Push out to the sides. That is good. Back to what we held back earlier. The nutmeg and a little bit of sugar. Just sprinkle it over the top, like so. And I didn't even use all of that. All right, this is ready to go into the preheated oven for 30 or 35 minutes. I checked it after 30 minutes and it was not ready. So back in the oven for 5 more minutes. Finally, a clean knife and it was done. I can tell by shaking it that it's loose and it's begun to pull away from the edge. You'll see a few millimeters there. So we know we're ready to go. Plate upside down, turn it over. I could hear it fall out. Oh, and look at the backside on that. Beautiful golden brown. It is lovely. I'm going to toss it over onto the cutting board one more time and get rid of that. All right, time to cut in. It's a lovely light golden brown color, so let's give it a whirl. Probably should wait 5 more minutes, but I'm not going to do that. There we go. Oh, it is beautiful. So you can see the apple all the way throughout this, and you can see the cake itself is baked between it. Little holes there. It's risen nicely. So let's give this a go. Now, traditionally, you'd eat this as is, but I have seen people put a warm custard poured over it. I've also seen whipped cream put over it. You can eat it hot or cold. It is delicious cold, but I'm going to eat it warm at the moment. So let's give this a whirl. Oh my, there's a little crust, and that's the sugar we put on it earlier. It is so good. It's lovely for me because it makes me remember my childhood, and it makes me remember my mother and her making this just a few years ago. Right up until like her late 80s, she would make an apple pie, very little thin one. She also occasionally made a plate pie, which is basically a thin apple pie made on a dinner plate in the oven. I'll do that one day. I think I might have a photograph of her at 89 working on making an apple pie. The counter was too high. She was older and a little stooped, so she did it on top of a little bar stool or a kitchen bar stool. But anyway, fun memories. This is super simple. Give it a try, and I think you'll really like it.